Hey, what's up, guys? So, this is my Acer Aspire 5560 laptop, and now this laptop is about 9 years old and it has a kind of overheating issue. So, today I'm going to solve that overheating issue. That is, I'm going to replace out the old fan with a new one. So, as you can see, the laptop looks like this, and in order to get into the inside, we're going to have to open a couple of screws on the back side. Now, depending on how old your laptop is, there may be about 15 or 16 screws in total in this laptop. So firstly, we're going to go ahead and remove the battery just like this. And we can set it off to the side. Now in order to remove the RAM and the hard disk, we can go ahead and remove these three screws right here. And accessing the RAM and the hard disk is relatively easy. Now we can just go ahead and set all the three screws as well as this case aside. Now as you can see, we have to disconnect this connector right here. This connector connects the motherboard to the back plate. And we can go ahead and leave it loose like this. Now we can go ahead and remove both the RAMs, that is 2 plus 2 GB, because we're gonna have to clean it out later. Now we can just go ahead and remove the second one. And thirdly, we can go ahead and remove our signal wires. Also, we don't need to remove the chip, the signal chip. You only need to disconnect the wires since they are connected to the backing plate. Right there. Now we're going to go ahead and remove our hard disk. As you can see, a hard disk screw is kind of small, and also it is different from all these screws that we're going to remove, this backing plate from. So be sure you keep that hard disk screw separately. You can just go ahead and slide it out like this. And now you can go ahead and take that screw and just put it into the hard disk screw hole just like that. And now you can set it to the side. Now after this, we're going to go ahead and remove all these screws from the laptop. As you can see, there are a lot of them, and I'm pointing out each one as I go along all the sides. So in total on my laptop there are about 15 to 16 screws in total, and they are all the same size, so no need to worry about mixing them up except for that one hard disk screw. Now we can just go ahead and remove all the screws. And again, if you want to know the location of all the screws, you can just go behind 10 seconds, and I was pointing out basically all the locations of all the screws. As you can see, the screws on the top are a bit deep, so I'm using a thinner screwdriver to get to them, and they are plus signed. Now we can just go ahead and pry out all these screws. The bottom ones are kind of high enough so that we can pry them out of their holes, whereas the top ones are quite low. As you can see, it's difficult to get them out. So what we can do is just overturn a laptop like this, and basically if the screws are loosened, they will fall out just like that. And once again, you can mix up these screws because they are all going to be the same size except from that one hard disk screw. Now we can go ahead and access the laptop from the front. One more point is that in order to open the laptop, we have to remove the keyboard first, and from the keyboard we can gain access. That is, this laptop opens from the top. In order to remove the keyboard, there are certain pull tabs located on the top, left and right side of the keyboard. And we can just go ahead and take a flathead screwdriver and pull it out just like this. And once again, this keyboard is replaceable if you break it, and it is connected by a ribbon cable down over here. Now in order to remove the ribbon cable, we're going to go ahead and pry out this one connector just like this, and the ribbon cable slides out of the slot and the keyboard is disconnected. Now we're going to go ahead and take out 4 screws from this bottom, from this top plate. This is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and also these screws are different from the top plate, so be sure to keep them separately from the ones on the bottom side. As you can see, these are quite bigger than the ones you found at the bottoms. Now we can go ahead and take out this next connector, and then we can go ahead and remove this front connector. As you can see, you have to just basically lift up the clip like this. It's a locking clip, and we can pull out the ribbon cable just like that. And in total there are 3 cables, that is 2 ribbon cables and 1 connector. Now we can just go ahead and pry open the laptop. Now what you want to find is like an open slot where you can push this pin into and just basically pry open the top part of it. As you can see, I have an SD card slot over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pry open this, and as you can see, as you can hear, it clicks out of place, and you can just go ahead and go all around the laptop just like that, and you can remove the top plate. So now here we have our first look inside the laptop. Now you can see these are all the connectors that you have to remove, basically that was connecting the top plate to the bottom motherboard. Now we can go ahead, and there's one more connector that we're going to disconnect, the same locking style just like this. This basically connects the right side USB ports to the main motherboard, and also there's one more connector down here that we have to disconnect, and make sure that it's disconnected. It looks just like this, and we can go ahead and set them to the side. Now also a hard disk can also basically just be pulled out just like this, and once again this also is completely replaceable if it gets spoiled. And there's one more screw that is a very tiny one, and it holds the motherboard to the backing plate. And once again, this screw is different from all the rest of the screws, so be sure to keep it separately and safe. Now our last wire is this display cable right here, the metal one, the big one, and second is a power wire which goes to the bottom one just like this. So these are the only 2 cables that are basically connected to the motherboard, and that's it. Now we can go ahead and disconnect the motherboard. What you want to do is you want to pull it out towards the right side. Now after getting out our motherboard, we can go ahead and flip it upside down. As you can see, this is the fan and the heatsink assembly that we're going to take out. And very importantly, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our fan connector that powers it up, and then we're going to go ahead and remove those three screws which are spring loaded, and they are easy to remove and replaceable. As you can see, our old fan assembly is out. Now let me compare both the parts. See, this is a heatsink fan assembly for Acer Aspire 5560, and as you can see, it has a single CPU chip, and on the right side we have our Acer Aspire 5560G fan. This is basically the graphics card version of my laptop, and as you can see, it has a better cooling system and a better heatsink. It has basically 2 heat sinks, and it will cool down a laptop a lot better. And our old fan was from 2011 and the new fan is from 2012. So now we're going to go ahead and take a new fan assembly and basically attach it to on the laptop. Before that, we can go ahead and clean out all our old thermal paste. As you can see right here, I have put some paper tape on our old graphics card place where a graphics card would normally sit. Since there is no graphic card, the heatsink may short circuit the graphic card pins, so it is always better to tape it off, and also is very important. Now we can go ahead and apply our thermal paste to both the CPU chip and that above additional chip. right there. Now we can just go ahead and place our heat sink and fan assembly right on top of the motherboard very gently. Also again making sure that the graphics card chip area is taped off so that it doesn't short circuit. Now we can go ahead and tighten our screws, and this time around there are more screws. So there are about 6 screws in total this time. That's also including the graphic card and also a better cooling system. And lastly, we can go ahead and connect a fan connector to the motherboard. Now this is all ready to be put into our laptop back again. Now as you can see, we can go ahead and basically reconnect our display wires and our main motherboard power wires from the top side. That's one connector, and this is our other display connector right here. And also make sure that it's tightened down all the way in. Now you want to make sure that you connect your USB ribbon cable that goes to the main motherboard and clip it down just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and screw in our motherboard back into the laptop housing. And we can just go ahead and tighten it down. And now we're going to make sure to connect our last ribbon connector cable that is the bottom side down. And now we can go ahead and place our upper housing back into the laptop. And we can go ahead and reconnect all our remaining cables. That is 1, 2, and also the third one. That is right here. Now we can go ahead and tighten down our 4 screws that are holding in the top part to the bottom part. And just like that, we are done. Make sure everything is tightened down. And now we can just go ahead and reconnect our keyboard ribbon cable just like that and lock it into place. Now our keyboard slides into a slot, and make sure it is clipped into place into the laptop just like this. Now moving on to the bottom side, you can basically go ahead and connect connectors to the main motherboard, that is on the bottom right side. And now we can go ahead and attach a hard disk. So make sure to remove that hard disk screw and slide the hard disk into place and screw it back down. Now we can go ahead and attach our antenna cables, both of them, 2 of them, black and white. Now in order to clean our RAM chips, we should just go ahead and slide our fingers across the metal contact points of the RAM. And this basically gives it a good clean and a quick clean. And now make sure the RAM is fitted well into the laptop, or else the laptop won't detect the RAM after it boots up. So make sure both of them are tight. And again, I'm doing this cleaning thing for the second RAM as well. And you can go ahead and slide in our second RAM chip as well, and just clip it down into place just like this. Once again, make sure all the connections are tight. And now finally we can go ahead and tighten up and put in all our back screws, about 15 to 16 of them in total. And once again, make sure they are fully tightened up. Now we can go ahead and reattach our back plate to the laptop. And finally we can attach our battery. Now basically what you want to do is you want to test everything and check that everything is working. Make sure your fan is functioning properly and all the keyboard and all the essentials are functioning properly. Thank you so much for watching, guys.